send me that YouTube link, and then I'll post it on my side, right?
Come on, how do I get this?
Come on.
No, it's fine.
Alright.
I'll do this. Comments.
Let me see how I can help you.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm gonna share from this.
Okay, cool.
Run through, yeah.
No stress. He's gonna share the link now, so everyone here is gonna be starting. So get your camera and stuff set up, right? So you will get on your side, right?
For the late comers, of course.
I know what you're doing. So. Alright, cool. Just DM that to me, right? Thanks.
Yeah, just sharing social media stuff.
ايش بدي ولا تنطوا النفاس
Sale error.
Yeah.
Yes, just take the page closer. Thank you.
You didn't forget me about the image, ne? Is that fun? Is it okay? No, Facebook. Our website is here. Let's bring another section that is between black. Oh no, this is top layer. Maybe. So I'm trying to get myself to He was dancing there. 5 hours. Thank you. People are avoiding to sit in front of me.
That's watching. They set up before the fight starts. The best game. I was watching around the world. That's in the UFC, there's a guy that says, "5 rounds. UFC. Welterweight championship."
Send me a link to that. Sounds interesting.
It's really good if you're doing something competitive and it's people's choices.
Yeah. I think he brought one almost like that. What's his name? The guy that competed the conference. Oh, the keynote speaker. The keynote speaker.
Yeah, I'm still going. What's his name? Ingalls or something like that.
Shuttles.
I'm still on this thing. I joined his WhatsApp.
I did as well. I joined not his WhatsApp, but I joined.
You know, I just sent a message out to the YouTube live stream guys. And on the live stream. I just put a comment there already.
That's got some good stuff.
No, just so I won't have it ready because I see there's 9 people that's watching.
Maybe I'm coming.
Huh? Yeah. Just how many minutes are we? How long are we gonna wait?
Do we have a centralized number for all of these people to put on their phones if they get lost in the building or get wander off and can't find their way back?
They are in this.
They can call.
They are in this group. So it's not easy to make it. No.
I'm on it.
You're not on this one.
I'm not on one of them, but I know it's the organising one more league. I'm on the one that Tish was talking about this morning. One of these, this one.
So, but it's fine. We can always use either or.
I'm on this one. I don't know if this is the management one.
This is the management one. So
I'm
we
not
can
on any
actually
of-
communicate there, then we can send
Yeah, but
it.
what about them?
They can. Yeah. Do you want?
Do you have a number?
How do I share with you?
Got your mic ready?
Yes. Mic is ready. Right here.
Who should I give the mic to? So she'll introduce everyone. Is it on? Which one are you on?
Yeah, great.
Ladies, how are you?
Good morning, everyone.
Can they hear you? Can they hear you?
Before I begin, I believe I have a sign language interpreter so that they can help me out for the day and just to make sure that communication is clear this morning.
Are you?
No.
Are you doing?
You are fine.
Yeah, we are fine.
Okay, awesome. So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and the wonderful participants. My name is Robisa Menakisa, and I will be your program director for the day. It's my first time doing this, so take it easy on me. If I stumble, forget about it. So, if everyone could get seated, and then we will begin. Thank you so much. So, a very warm welcome and to Rise for Women Hackathon, hosted by Thea. I'm a bit nervous, so sorry about that. Just a few notes from our host. I would like to apologize for a late start. Some of our participants had to come together using one transport, and they had to be fetched from different parts of the city. So, but yeah, we're ready to start, and I hope you are all excited for this day. I hope all the young people are ready to bring all their energy and innovation and all of the wonderful stuff to this event. Okay, so today we gather with great excitement and purpose to embark on a journey that is dedicated to raising awareness and providing information on women's health, sexual education, and reproductive education. The acronym RISE encapsulates the very essence of this hackathon and the critical mission we seek to accomplish. Through the power of collaboration, innovation, and technology, we aim to shed light on the pressing issues surrounding women's health and ensure that accurate information is accessible to all. By coming together as a community, we have the opportunity to create tangible solutions that can positively impact the lives of countless individuals. Before I start, I think the program is up on the screen. I think some of us got the printout. But before I start, there's a few housekeeping rules from our head of security, I believe, and Derek Norseman.
Good morning all. Can you all hear me clearly? Yes. Wonderful. Glad to have you all here. Welcome to Bayer Isando. I like the energy. Let's keep it flowing and let's keep it going.
Yes.
So, first and foremost, your safety is vitally important to all of us. You've come here to take part in a very important function and we want you to be safe while you do that. You will notice there are some very attractive people like me, young people, with lanyards around our necks and these grey jackets. If you at any time or any point don't know where to go, what to do, or need any support, please reach out to us. We're here to help you. We're here to make the fun pleasurable and most importantly safe. We're going to play you a safety video which just basically sets out our site. There are other buildings that you'll be passing when you walk around here, but this building is where we would like you to stay for your safety, so please do not wander off. If you get lost, they will share a WhatsApp number with you on a group. You can just call someone on the group to come and help you and we'll come and fetch you if you should find yourself getting lost. There are also security guards at the main gate who will support you with anything you might need while you're on site. So my 1 minute of motivation to all of you that have come here this morning. The issue at hand is important, very important to all of us. And a couple of years ago, about 10 years ago, I was in a small place called Nairobi, Kenya, and a very intelligent man gave us a task. He said, come and impact my business so that it saves a lot of money in the East Africa world. So myself and 2 other really silly people volunteered for this mission and we started doing it. And after we completed this, he was so impressed with us, he rolled it out across Africa. And I was like, wow, we have impacted a continent. But it didn't stop there. Someone else with vision, a Mr. Tyro type person, took that to the global organization of this multinational, and then they rolled it out across the world. So today when you guys are busy doing this, don't see it as something you're doing to impact just Gauteng. Don't see it as something you're doing to impact South Africa. See it as a challenge that could potentially change the world. We're going to play you a safety video. Please watch. If you have any questions thereafter, you are free to ask me. Welcome and enjoy yourself.
Thank you.
Welcome to Bayer Isando site. Bayer is a global life science company with a presence all over the globe. Safety, health and environmental protection is the company's highest priority. Bayer has life values of leadership, integrity, flexibility and efficiency. We ask that all employees, contractors and visitors please comply with our site rules and regulations that will be featured in this video. Access is controlled for all those that enter the site for safety and security reasons. Bayer personnel are required to tag in at the entrance using their access cards, either via drive-through or walk-in. Safety is the most important aspect of our business. Drivers and pedestrians will be assisted by security upon entry of premises, and will be required to fill in their contact details to register their entry inside the Bayer premises. Visitors must stay with their host at all times. No children are allowed on site unless prior arrangement has been made with management. Remember that everyone is responsible and accountable for their own safety at Bayer. Safe parking spaces are available for Bayer personnel and visitors in all blocks on the site. It is mandatory that all cars are parked in reverse to ensure safer exit conditions. Bayer Isando site is divided into 3 divisions, namely Pharmaceuticals Division, Consumer Health Division, and Crop Science Division. The Pharmaceutical and the Consumer Health Divisions are located in Block G, whilst the Crop Science Division is located in Block A. Each box entrance has a reception area in which employees and visitors can get assistance from the receptionists. Buyer personnel are provided with conducive working office spaces in which they can carry out their day-to-day tasks, and boardrooms in which productive meetings can be held in. Buyer personnel and visitors have access to the canteen, which is located in Block A. The canteen includes a catering team sponsored by Sodexo, which helps with providing daily healthy meals as well as managing the space. There are indoor and outdoor areas which can be used on occasions where events are hosted and mass gatherings would be included. The package dispatch zone is a well-moderated area used for the storing of packages that are delivered in, and those that are meant to be delivered out of the site. The Health, Safety and Environment (HSE) policy stipulates buyers' health, safety and environment principles and commitment, and is displayed throughout the site in different locations and is available on request. There are trained qualified first aiders on site and fully equipped first aid boxes available, as well as emergency contacts are visible throughout the site. We strive to achieve and maintain zero harm by providing all with a safe and healthy working environment. To ensure the health and safety of others, Buyer has designated smoking areas away from the site's main zones. There are designated safe assembly points in case of emergency and evacuations on the site. Buyer has essential backup of basic need supplies such as reserve water tanks and generators for electricity to ensure that the site's utilities are still up and running. There is also a convenient car wash bay on site for Buyer personnel. Please let us all work together to keep Buyer a safe and healthy environment in which to work. Thank you for watching the Buyer induction video.
That's in a nutshell what our center is all about. Is anyone who has a question, please ask now. Yes, ma'am.
How far are the smoking areas from where we are?
We really try to make it close to it. It's about 50 meters to your right. There's a clearly demarcated board that says smoking area. You may go and smoke there or vape or whatever you want to do. If you don't know where it is, just ask someone at the desk to take you and show you.
Thank you so much.
Don't walk around vaping and that.
Yeah.
Any more questions? All right, thank you very much. Enjoy your day.
Thank you.
I just have one announcement before I welcome our keynote speaker. Just to give you guys the lay of the land, or rather this block here. So behind us is a chill area, sort of, if you guys want to kind of relax. And then to the left of that is the canteen / cafeteria where we all got our coffee and tea. And then just beyond it is the ladies' bathroom. So if you go this way is the ladies' bathroom. And then beyond that is where our breakout rooms begin. And then on the other side, if you want to go all the way around, is the men's bathroom. You see on the right is all the breakout rooms, or rather when you walk in from the entrance, to your left is the men's bathroom and then all the other breakout areas. I think I have it covered, right? Okay, awesome. So, I'm really excited to welcome this next lady.
Bring the mic a bit lower.
Oh, so I must put it a bit lower.
Just a little bit lower, thanks.
First time. I don't even know how to hold a mic. So can everyone hear me? Okay. So I'm very excited to bring up the next lady. She's our keynote speaker. I just want to get her bio correct so that, I don't miss anything. So our keynote speaker for the day is Dr. Nkutling Mabena. She is a public health clinician and an academic. Sorry, a bit nervous. And a women's health and rights advocate. She was born and raised in Mamelodi, a township in South Africa. Dr. Mabena specializes in working with marginalized women and making sure that all women, especially those at the margins of society, have access to quality primary health care services. In addition to her medical degree, she holds a master's in public health, a diploma in HIV management, another diploma in tropical medicine and hygiene, a postgraduate diploma in clinical forensic medicine, and a graduate certificate in LGBT health policy and practice from George Washington University. She is currently working through her organization Open House Initiative to address some identified health needs and improve systems through collaborations with relevant stakeholders to ensure care to those most in need, and that justice is served. So after I met her for a few minutes and I spoke to her and I said, what do you want people to know about you? And she said verbatim that she is a health and social justice activist. So if that's all we get from her today, that's who she is. May we welcome Dr. Nkutling.
I always wonder if it's really me when they read. That's not really me. Good morning, Dumelang, Ahe, Absheni, Kunjani, Solomora, and with peace that surpasses all understanding be with us this whole week. Amen. As I've been introduced, my name is Nkutling. Am I holding the mic correctly? I'm just like, yes. My name is Nkutling. I am very passionate about issues that affect us human beings, all of us, men, women, and gender non-conforming people. And if I didn't hear a toilet for us being announced, I just heard ladies and gentlemen. What about us others? I'm joking, but I'm not being joking. I'm literally here to just spark some ideas inside of all of you and help you, just untangle some of the information that already sits in your heads, because we are living human beings who are alive in this country, in this era right now, and we know about the problems that we are facing. Now, the shocking statement when I was reading some of the documents I'm preparing for today is that 1 in 4 girls and women, 1, 2, 3, 4, fall pregnant before the age of 20. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Before age 20. And who carries the burden of that pregnancy? It is that girl. Drop out of school, lose out in economic opportunities, end up being made the housemaid of the home, because now they have the baby to look after, somebody will have to look after the rest of the households, and cook and clean. And yet we are busy talking about gender equality. We have development goals, sustainable development goals that are being set high up there by the whole world to say that we want to see a world, we want to see society that is equal. But yet 1 in 4 girls are falling pregnant before 20. How are we ever going to get equal when the starting ground is already not equal? So we are clear we have a problem. I mean, the stats that shocked us all after COVID era. Over 90,000 children, I don't even call them anything else, 90,000 children between 10 and 19 years old fell pregnant and gave birth. 660 of those under 13 years old. And a few more of those at below 12 years old. That is something that as society we need to stop normalizing. We have to stop normalizing. We have to empower girls. We have to empower boys. And we have to hold accountable the adults who are contributing to this high pregnancy rate. The adults who are having inappropriate age disproportionate relationships with young girls, adolescent girls and young women. We have to hold them accountable. I mean, for me, it's so shocking that we have 600 people under the age of 13 who have given birth, but we've never heard of 660 people who have been arrested. All the burden lies on the girl. Why? You know why. Because that is how society is, that's how we've been socialized, that's how our cultural and religious institutions and structures dictate things must be, but we need to flip the script. We need to hold people accountable, we need to empower them so that we are not trapped in the same thing, so that we at least start having the same starting ground. So when we talk about sexual reproductive health and rights issues, I think we can now agree that we know there's a problem. I think the first step of healing anything is to accept that there's a problem. But what else do we know? We know that there are services. There are services. Sexual reproductive health services. There are contraceptives. We have public health systems that are at least offering free even contraceptive services, STI treatment, therapy services, whatever you call it, post-violence care services. We know the services are there. We know by theory the commodities, the supply, the drugs, the contraceptives, the medication are there. But we also know that there are people who need those services. It's not like people don't need the services. There are people that need services. There was one in four that I've been counting. There were 1 in 2 children who experience sexual violence. The need is there. The services are there. But the problem lies somewhere here in the middle. There's a missing link to link these services to these people that need those services. So we need to interrogate in the next 2 days. What are these gaps? What are these barriers that are making this chain not connect? And they could be many, right? They could be information, lack of information, insufficient information. You can even divide them into, I would say patient, because I'm not doctor, I'm allowed to say it. Patient-related factors. We can even say service provider-related factors that are causing this gap. Patient-related factors, it could be lack of information, like they're saying. Or maybe they do have the information, they just don't know where to go access the services. Or they do know where to access the services, but they don't know where to go access safe services that are not judgmental, that are not fear-based. Or maybe they do know how to get all of this, but it takes money for them to have to get to those facilities. So we need to break down what are those barriers that are in people that are stopping them from accessing these services that we know are there. On the provider side, we also need to look at what is it? Do they have enough knowledge to sell the products that they are working with? Do they have enough knowledge? You know, like healthcare providers are not are not my friends. So you just say, I want a grand car and they give me grand car. Healthcare providers are trusted in communities because they are knowledgeable, they carry certain amount of knowledge and information that ordinary citizens and human beings don't necessarily have. But do they actually have that knowledge that we expect them to have? Maybe that could be one of the barriers that makes people not access services, because the knowledge within the healthcare provider is there but is not sufficient. Or could it be human-related factors in the provider? Their attitudes when people are trying to access services. Are they providing those fear-based, fear-inducing services? You know, can you imagine when you're going and a young person, you're going to a clinic? First of all, the guts it takes for you to make a decision that I'm going to the clinic. I'm going to ask for contraceptives. The amount of courage it takes to just to do that. And then you get there and then the person says, why are you having sex? You know what the Bible says? Is that the right advertising messaging? So the attitudes, the beliefs, the value systems that this healthcare provider carries could be the actual barrier that's causing these people not to come. Because whenever they think about the clinic, they just think, oh, I'm going to be judged. Or my mom's going to know. So the services are not even private. Because the nurse there goes to church with the mother. So we need to really look at these different factors. Then we can't just only look at the girls and look at the health system. We also need to look at society itself. Right? And which brings us to the hot potato about comprehensive sexuality education. I hope a lot of you have heard about that. It's a hot potato where we're talking about giving information to young people in schools about sexual reproductive health and rights. But we've got a lot of pushback, we know, from religious institutions, from cultural groups, from this and this, saying, no, you're teaching our children to have sex, you're teaching them to be gay, you're teaching them all these funny things. But their children are having sex anyway. Would we not just say 1 in 4? But they're already having sex, so why are we not talking about it? One thing we all know is as adults are very scared to have conversations with children about sex. There's a fear factor that lies there. So tap into the fears. What are they scared about? Maybe if we start resolving those things that are scared about, we can start making it easier for them to talk to their children about sex. Have we even considered that while we want to teach our children comprehensive sexuality education in schools, have we considered what kind of education do we now need to go give to parents and communities and adults in general? Because what's the point in teaching children about sex and saying, ask the question, who are they going to ask when the very adults don't even know what to answer? Because remember, the adults grew up in the same system, even in a West system, where they talk nothing about sex, in fact. So they themselves also don't have knowledge. So when we talk about information, it's broad. You know, it's broad. It's information about services, about options, about whatever, but it's also information about SRH in general, breaking myths, telling people the truth about what is actually happening. Letting parents have conversations about why are children falling pregnant? Why are they falling pregnant? We are seeing a lot of abuse in families. A lot. And lots. But families don't even talk about it. Why? Because nobody has taught the adults how to have the conversations. Roseanne, you're not 2 minutes in here. I can speak the whole day about this topic. I can really speak the whole day because there's a lot to say. We have very progressive laws in this country. We've got children from the age of 12 can access medical care without parental consent. So we've got systems in place, but the problem is the activity is not happening. So now we need to figure out what is blocking these activities so that we can unlock and make it easier for people to talk, make it easier for people to access, make it easier. Use technology, use all of these things to communicate. And communication is a two-way thing. It's not marketing. Even marketing is communication, but it needs to be a two-way thing. I need to give you something, you need to give me back. And then we come to a middle ground. Which was going to take me to a point which I'm not going to go to because otherwise we're not going to finish. So in closing, I think it's very important that when you are looking at your interventions and your ideas and everything that you're going to look at within the next 2 days, you look at the individual, the girl, the young woman, and you look at what cognitive assets do we need to build and how do we build them so that they make safe choices about their sexual and reproductive health. So how do we build knowledge? How do we build knowledge so that they've got cognitive assets? How do they know about these rights? How do they know about these services? How do they know the questions to ask? Where do they get the information? We need to build how do we build on their socio-economic assets for them to be able to access these very services that we're talking about, or the information? How do we build spaces that young people can come together and talk about real life SRH issues or real life issues? Young people like groove. And I say young people because I'm not so young myself. Young people like groove. How do we use the spaces that young people love to stimulate these conversations so that they can also be peer-to-peer teachers and help us and whatever? How do we use the very existing structure? Social assets. How do we make sure that girls stay in school, and they're not missing school because they don't have parents or they have to look after the grandmother because the grandmother is sick? How do we remove this? How do we make girls stay in school so that we can keep building on their cognitive assets? Or how do we even make them know how to use money so that they always have some little bit of saving in case they need to get something for themselves, like a contraceptive, or get to a facility that they can go get a contraceptive? How do we empower these young people? Because it's not like they don't have autonomy, they don't have power. They've got power, but they just don't know, and they don't know how to use it. So how do we build on all these different inherent assets, cognitive, socio-economic, health assets? How do we give them information about the facilities that they can access these services from? And how do they get to those facilities? How do they know where to get these things? What other creative places can they get these services from instead of going to those judgmental clinics? And then how do we, most importantly as well, how do we keep healthcare providers engaged with the realities of young people? So that whenever they are providing services, they are providing services that are centered around this young person. Not centered around my young child at home, but around this young person that's sitting in front of me, and I'm meeting her needs, and I'm building her, I'm empowering her. Sorry for using your I suppose. Empowering her that even tomorrow, even when she's not with me, she can make good decisions and know how to look after herself, and even come back if she feels like she needs to come back. Because I've built that relationship with this young person and removing my value systems and my belief systems away from this relationship. So how do we do that? How do we make sure that healthcare providers remain professional and remain patient-focused? But also don't tell the patient that you need an injection. But give the patient options, tell them the risk, benefits, all of those, so that it's a shared decision that we are making about which option is actually good for you. So we need to think about all of these things as you are doing your hackathon amazing work, which I can't wait to see what you come up with. So look at a person from a holistic point of view and look at where that person comes from, what you need to do any interventions within that sphere of the ecological model. Their relationships, their families, their parents, their schools, their churches, whatever, all of those things that are around them. And then what do we do with the healthcare providers? Not forgetting technology behind. We know a lot of young people like social media, they get a lot of their information from TikTok, from this, from that. How do we also bridge, make sure that that information is giving accurate information using the very same healthcare providers, not replacing the healthcare providers, but enhancing the healthcare providers' experiences. I think in that, I will say, heck away! Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nkele. I hope all of the hacking wheels have started turning and everyone is now trying to formulate ideas. I wish I was a participant. I'm known to participate in a free hackathon. The next speaker that I'm going to introduce is Mr. Colin Tyre. He is the head of pharmaceuticals here at Bayer. So I'll just give a short bio of his. He is the cluster division head of pharmaceuticals at Bayer Southeast and West Africa. In addition to leading the pharmaceuticals function, Colin is an active advocate for women's health across the cluster and does this by ensuring that all women in the region can access the family planning support and products that they need. Colin is the lead for the Grow Business Resource Group for Southeast Africa. He guides the group in this BRG to create plans that encourage the fair representation, advancement, and success of women at all levels of the company. Colin holds a Bachelor of Science honors from Manchester University. He has extensive experience in creative and innovative patient and market access initiatives in private and public funded markets across Africa, Asia, Pacific, and Europe. Outside of the workplace, he enjoys staying in shape by competing in triathlons, road and mountain biking challenges. Additionally, he enjoys the bass guitar, music, and film. So let us welcome Mr. Colin Tyre.
Thank you, everyone. I am really terrible at the bass guitar, by the way. I'm quite good at cycling. Okay, so my name's Colin Tyre. As you heard, I lead the pharmaceutical business for South, East and West Africa, so from Ghana, Nigeria and all points south. So, and as you can probably tell, I'm not from South Africa. I am from the UK originally. And my daughter's a coder, actually. So, and she really wants to know what's going to go on in the next couple of days. So she talks to me about things like C#. I thought that was a musical note. but it's a coding language, right? But that's all I know. That's all I know. So now I've been in South Africa for about 2.5 years. I've worked across the globe in pharmaceuticals, and I've worked in sort of Australia and Ireland and the UK and a few other places. And then I get asked the question, why do you want to come to South Africa? And you know the reason I want to come to South Africa? It's for days like today, to leave a legacy, because that's one of the things I wanted to do when I came to South Africa. Shall we say that the history of British people in Africa has not been without controversy, fair to say. So, this is a bit of a make-up time, okay? This is to try and do something to empower everyone across Africa, women in particular, and it's wonderful to see so many enthusiastic and passionate people here today and online as well to do something for women that has a legacy, and Dr. Mabena has certainly outlined exactly what that's all about. But I want to just quickly as well tell you a little bit about Bayer, because it said in the previous slide there 60 years. You know, the pill was first synthesised in 1960. Contraceptive pills have been around a good while, right? But despite all the innovations that have happened since then, there is, and Bayer has been at the forefront of that, because actually we're one of the biggest or the leading women's health company across the globe. We do a lot of research and development, and there's many medicines and products available, not only for contraception but also for therapy areas like heavy menstrual bleeding. You know that blights women's life, endometriosis, which is a dreadful thing. And we're working with women into menopause. Now we won't be talking about them today, but Bayer does a lot of research and development. It's come up with many products and medicines to help those individuals. Despite all of that, you've heard there's still a massive deficit in terms of the education around that and really understanding all the options that are available. If you could advance the slide, please. So we do an awful lot of work in this area, and we've just managed to get, there's a thing called Mirena, and that's a long-term contraceptive device. I don't know if anybody's heard of it, or Kylina. So the guys won't, but you need to listen to this, because as you heard, it's great to see some guys here, right? Because the guys need to, pat and brothers. We need to be, educated as well on this. But Mirena is an absolutely fantastic device, easy to insert, and gives women 5 years of protection. And it's just an amazing thing. We've now managed to get that onto state tender across South Africa. And those are the sort of things that make a huge difference. It's still small in the fact that the number of women that are benefiting from that. But the work that you're going to do over the next couple of days is really going to make a huge difference to help women understand the options that are available, to empower them. And as we know, contraception is one of the most democratising things that we can do for women across the globe. And I'll talk about that in a minute or two, because they are absolutely determined to play their full part in that. And I heard of Dr. Mabena was talking about some statistics, and we're actually working with the provinces now in terms of making sure that nurses are trained up so they can insert Mirena and help more women across South Africa. Do you know, in 1 quarter alone, 1,000 in Gauteng, 1,000 girls having unintended pregnancies under the age of 14. In Gauteng alone. It's astonishing. I mean, it blights women across South Africa and Africa. You know, and we all need to play a part. You know, Bayer are trying to do their bit in educating. You're here today in terms of that education and raising the bar for all women across the continent. So there's much, much more that we need to do. Next slide. Thank you. So Bayer's commitment, and this is a global commitment, in terms of sustainability. We all hear about sustainability, don't we, these days? You know, sustainability this, sustainability that. Well, actually, you know, Bayer takes that really, really seriously. So we want to be carbon neutral across all of our production plants and offices and the things that you're in, sitting in at the moment. Carbon neutral by the end of 2030. But more importantly, and pertinent to what you're going to be doing over the next couple of days, is our commitment that an additional 100 million women across the globe are able, in low and middle income countries, so targeting places in Africa, that 100 million additional women can access contraception by the end of the decade. And that's a massive investment from the organisation. And part of that investment is you guys sitting here today in nice hoodies and with some nice cookies around the corner. So you know, but that investment is really important to make sure that, you know, not only do we produce the medicines and products for women, and we are a leader in that, but you guys help those products, those medicines, get to the women that really need them. And we work with the Gates Foundation and with the Clinton Foundation and with governments across the world, and particularly in Africa. You know, there's a whole dedicated team from Bayer really working hard to make sure that we can bring those medicines and products to more and more women across the continent, because we know how important that is. We don't make any money out of that. In fact, we lose money on doing those sort of things, but that's not a problem. That's not a problem, because it's the right thing to do for society and for the globe. So, different women, different needs. That's sort of why you're here over the next couple of days, because, you know, everybody does things, and women do things for different reasons. Women have, you know, some have motivators, some don't have motivators. Some women may go on TikTok, some may go on Instagram, some may go on Facebook, but there is a way that we need to contact those women and girls, really. You know, as Dr. Mabena said, you know, we're talking about girls as well. And, you know, all of those girls and women are avid, as we all are, avid consumers of social media, and the only way that we can actually contact we estimate about 350 million women in the cluster that we sort of look after, all these people in grey shirts that you can see here. You know, we're trying to contact 350 million women. You know, you can't do that by sending people out to see them, right? The only way that we can do that is through technological means and smart ways that all of you guys know about, but we're too old to know about that sort of stuff, because, you know, we still read newspapers and stuff like that. So, but you know how to do that, and that's why we're so delighted to have you all here to help us spread the word and do the things that we know are the right things for society, which is bring modern contraception to more women across South Africa and across the continent. So, you know, you don't want to hear any more speeches. You need to get on with doing some hacking, right? And I can report back to my daughter what a fantastic bunch of people you guys are, and what some amazing initiative, concepts and ideas that you're going to come up with. So all the best. Have an absolutely fantastic couple of days. We'll make sure that you have plenty of, you know, muffins and tea and Red Bull, whatever you guys, you know, you guys do, but we'll make sure that you've got the right environment to do the brilliant things that you're going to do over the next couple of days. Good luck. Thank you.
We have come to the end of this part of the program. The next part will be us breaking out into our different hackathon rooms and starting on our solutions. And I hope we all have been sparked to come up with creative solutions for Africa by Africans. I think all of the solutions that we need are in this room, and I can't wait, as everyone I'm sure cannot wait to see all of the creative solutions that you all come up with. So, just a little note at the end so that we can break out into our different rooms. I just want to say, as we commence the Rise for Women Hackathon, let us embrace the spirit of collaboration, empathy, and innovation. Let us seize this opportunity to drive positive change and create lasting impact on women's lives around the world. Let us rise for women and hack for a purpose. Okay, so I don't know if they're breaking out into the rooms right now, right?
Yes, I have a question with regards to team solutions. So in our case, we still and we're going are we still going to have that opportunity to find?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, sure.
Why don't they use themselves like
Alright.
before they break into the rooms and whatnot? And then when you go to the virus room, then you go as teams.
So if you guys want to get together and just who does it?
We don't know each other. So maybe group yourselves in teams, and then that way you can identify who's missing and which group needs the person. Then you can put yourselves out of here.
Yeah, it's got it should be around somewhere. So just want to take
And then I'll just come around and do lunchtime.
Yes.
Hey!
That you know when you get this, you just add on to it.
I'll be ready to king. We get
Wow, guys.
Happy hacking!
Thank you.
They are main tools and they've got different. I'm a finance major. What are you major? Marketing major. I think in our case, are you
This is mentor, so we will be coming around, and then if you have questions, we will. I'm also
We're live!